welcome to this week's Ask Me Anything. I am Tim from Ledger, and I'll be answering all your questions. I apologize for the late start. We had some technical difficulties. In fact, our main monitor that we use for this stream is currently not functional, so we're gonna have to do some additional troubleshooting to get that fixed. So if things look a little different throughout this stream, then it's just because I'm kind of working around not having the main monitor display. But without further ado, I will go ahead and see if you guys have any questions already. Let me take a look. All right, cool. Yeah, it looks like Brad's in the chat. Looks like we only have a few people here right now. So I will go ahead and see if I can make this work here. Screens right here. Okay, so we'll start off with just kind of showing you guys some stuff in Ledger Live. I'll check back periodically. I don't have the all the different screens pulled up, so I don't have visibility and everything, so I'm going to have to kind of switch around a little bit. So if you do have questions, feel free to start dropping them in the chat, and I will work back around to those. But for now, let me see. Yeah, still no. Okay, cool. Let me go back to Ledger Live. So yeah, I'll just show you some stuff in Ledger Live because it is a good place to start if we don't have any questions. So let me go ahead and plug in this Nano. Okay. That down. 5. All right, cool. So recently I added a HBAR account to Ledger Live, and that's kind of a whole process, but I'm not really set up to go through that process here right now because of the difficulties we had. So instead, I would like to show you some additional things in Ledger Live. So let's start with, let's start with talking about scam NFTs on Polygon. And we kind of cover this topic often, but it's something that kind of comes up very often when we're helping people with their tickets. A lot of people have questions about these scam NFTs. So yeah, I'll just go in and I'll show them to you guys and show you how to deal with those. Go open up the Polygon app. Go ahead and call this Matic-Plus. Add that account. All right, so if you have a Polygon account, the reason I chose Polygon is because it's the most common blockchain that this does occur on. These scammy NFTs that get sent to the people's wallet addresses, and they do occur on Ethereum as well, and also on other blockchains, but they tend to occur most often on blockchains that have really low transaction fees. And that's because it costs a scammer money to actually send the NFT out to all these different wallets, and that's very cheap to do on Polygon versus a network like Ethereum that has high network transaction fees, where it would cost a lot of money. So that's why you see much fewer scam NFTs on Ethereum than you do on Polygon. So if I go to the Polygon account right here, good. Okay, I go to I go to the Polygon app right here and I scroll down, you'll see that there's all these NFTs right here for all these, $30,000 airdrop, 1,000 Uni by Uniswap, 5,000 BUSD, and the list goes on and on. Now, these are all scams. None of these are legitimate. So if I go to one here, I open it up, you can see that in the picture of the NFT, it'll always kind of try to get you to go to a website, and that's how it works. That's how it gets people to get into trouble, is by going to this website and then connecting your wallet and authorizing whatever transaction they try to get you to authorize. So in this case, I don't know for certain what it would be, but if I were to go to SheebUSDC.com and try to connect my wallet, it would most likely try to have me send all my ETH, or it would have me sign some token approval that would give it access to one of my other tokens in my account. And so the best thing to do with these scam NFTs is simply to ignore them, basically. So if you go to your Polygon account, again, so you can, from here, you can just right click on them. I'll do it down here with one of these. 700 million sheet. If you right click on any one of them, you can do hide NFT collection. And then that makes the NFT kind of just go away. And as you can see, I have a whole bunch. I'm not going to hide all of them because I like to use them for demonstrations. But it's important to remember that if they're in your, just being in your account, there's nothing they can really do. There's no way that they can compromise your account just by being in there. It's really the exact same thing as receiving a spam email, where if you ever go to your spam folder on your email, you can look and see like all the different amazing, fake offers that people are trying to get you to fall for. And as long as you don't actually go and click on any links in that email, as long as you don't actually go to any websites and install anything or do anything that the email wants you to do, there's no danger of having that email in your inbox. And it just gets filtered into your spam folder. And so the same thing is happening here with Web3, with blockchain. And so right now we don't currently have like a spam folder or anything like that built into Ledger Live because it's a relatively new issue. And it's also pretty difficult to differentiate between what is a scam NFT and what is not a scam NFT because, there are legitimate, NFTs that may be redemptions for something. And so we wouldn't be able to just to auto block anything that said, claim this, claim that, because some of them may be legitimate. We're definitely working that out, and hopefully we have something to roll out soon. But for now, the best thing to do is just to hide them from your NFT collection. Well, let me go back here. Like John Smitty is asking a question. John Smitty's asking, I've been reading that Ledger Nano batteries last 5 years, and other wallets like BC Vault last forever. What happens to your funds once your Ledger battery dies? Yeah, that's a really good question. Let me switch here back to this main view real quick so I can kind of talk through that. So basically, there is no such thing as a battery that lasts forever, especially when you're talking about lithium-ion batteries. All batteries do have a shelf life. They have a certain amount of times that they can be recharged and depleted and before the battery cells break down. This is true of lithium-ion batteries. This is true of your car battery or any rechargeable battery. There is a finite amount of time that it can be recharged before the battery starts to degrade and then stops being able to hold a charge. And I can't speak to BC Vault. I don't know how long their batteries last for. And I also don't know of any like specific, it's not like there's like a specific, these batteries will last for 5 years versus 2 years or whatever. It's really just dependent on how often it's used and how the total number of times that it's charged. And there's also other things to consider when it comes to battery health, and how to keep your batteries, like the health of them lasting longer to maximize it. But in general, all batteries will reach an end of their life. And so a couple things on this. With the Nano X, it does have a battery, but you actually don't need to use the battery in order to use it. So even if the battery were to completely die on the Nano X and it can't hold a charge at all, you'd always still be able to plug it in to your computer and still use it to sign transactions, regardless of whether the battery works or not. Also, with the even if, let's say, like the battery were to die on your Nano, and then also the port on your Nano X were to die, and it just becomes completely unusable, well, at that point, you'd be able to take your 24-word recovery phrase and you'd be able to import it into a new Nano and then still continue to use your crypto accounts the same as you always could. Remember that your 24-word recovery phrase is the actual key to all your crypto accounts. The Nano itself is not, it's really just a copy of your key. So the way it works is your Nano generates your 24-word recovery phrase and it has that information stored in its memory. And then you're able to sign transactions safely using your Nano because your Nano has the private keys for those accounts. So if anything ever were to happen to your Nano, not necessarily just the battery dying or it just failing to operate properly after a certain amount of time, let's say you were to lose your Nano or break it in some other way, then you'd be able to take your 24-word recovery phrase and just put that into a new Nano, and it would be business as usual. You wouldn't even have to migrate any of your funds. You would just be able to access the exact same accounts using the new Nano. All right. Let's see. HWE is asking, hi, how do smart contracts work? I interacted on Uniswap with my Ledger once, and I've checked Etherscan token approvals and don't see any contracts. Would you say my funds are safe? Yeah, most likely. If you don't, so if if there was something that were to happen, then you'd probably be aware of it. Like if you were to sign a malicious smart contract, then your funds would like something probably would have happened. Like you would see like an outgoing transaction or something. It'd probably be pretty apparent that you were compromised in some way. And furthermore, if you are checking on Etherscan and you don't have any open token approvals, that means you probably have nothing to worry about. The main concern is, of course, if your 24-hour recovery phrase had been leaked in some way. And if that were the case, then that would be cause for concern. But as long as you've kept your recovery phrase totally safe and offline, and you don't have any open token approvals, you probably don't have much to worry about. Now, as for smart contracts, when it comes to token approval specifically, the way it'll work is you'll give a like, let's say you want to make a swap on Uniswap, like you said, you have to give Uniswap's the Uniswap protocol. You have to give them their smart contract authorization to access whatever token you're trying to swap. So let's say you're trying to swap from USDC to USDT, from USDC to Tether. Then you would have to give a token, and you have USDC, you would have to give Uniswap permission in the form of a token approval to say, yes, you can access my USDC on my behalf to make this swap for me. And that's what would show up in Etherscan and token approvals. And I can go ahead and show you what that looks like here real quick. Here. This tab. Sorry, things are a little bit slower right now. I can switch to big monitor. We'll make Chrome visible. All right, cool. So now we are on etherscan.io. And then I am going to come back to Ledger Live real quick. And go to my accounts, go to my ETH account. I believe I do have some token approvals here for this ETH account. So we'll generate the receive address. Click on that. I'm going to copy the receive address, which is the public wallet address. And then let me go back here, make Chrome visible again. All right, and I can search for it here on etherscan.io. So you can see here, this is the exact same ETH account that you just saw in Ledger Live. And then if you go up here to this tab up here where it says more, you can go to token approvals. And then let me go ahead and repaste that in and search for that. And you can see here that I do have some, actually have two token approvals, both for the Matic token, but for different protocols. So in this here, you can see that the approved spender is Stader Labs and the Polygon Plasma Bridge. So these are two dApps that I use to interact with the Polygon network. I use the Plasma Bridge to swap Polygon from, what is it called, from the Ethereum mainnet to the Polygon mainnet using a bridge. And to do that, I had to give the Plasma Bridge access to my Matic tokens. And so I keep these token approvals active so I can show people in demonstrations like this. And so basically the way it works is these token approvals stay active. You can set them up. I believe MetaMask has now gotten a lot better where you can actually set a limit for how long the token approval lasts for or how much the total maximum that can be spent. But when I signed these transactions, I gave Plasma Bridge unlimited access to all the Matic in my wallet. And so this token approval is still active. So if the Plasma Bridge, which bridges do get hacked sometimes, if the Plasma Bridge were to get hacked, then the hacker would then be able to take all the token approvals and the smart contract that they now own has approval to access my Matic. So they would be able to just take the Matic right out of my account because I already granted that. I already granted that smart contract approval to do that. And the same is true with Stader Labs here, where I stake some Matic tokens. So if the Stader Labs were to get hacked, then it could theoretically lead to my Matic tokens being pulled. However, it's really important to remember that having a token approval for a specific asset, like for instance, these token approvals are only for Matic. So if the Plasma Bridge were to get hacked, then they wouldn't be able to access any other assets in my wallet. They wouldn't be able to touch my Ethereum. They wouldn't be able to touch any of the other tokens that I have. They would only be able to access the Matic. So it's a good idea to definitely check. You said that you did check and you don't have any token approvals. So you're most likely fine, I would say. Let's see. here. I'm all discombobulated here. All right. Yep. Okay, cool. Okay. Um, MRX625 is asking, I would like to know if you will add XMR, RVN, and other coins which needs third-party applications to Ledger products soon. So that is a good question. I don't know the specific dates. It's always really hard to give specific dates on these because basically it incorporating a new blockchain into Ledger Live is each blockchain is very different in how it operates, and so it kind of requires an unknown amount of time before our developer team gets it like incorporated directly into Ledger Live for support. And furthermore, it's also largely dependent on the usage of the network because there are so many different blockchains that we are trying to incorporate into Ledger Live. Of course, we would love to be able to fully support everything. That is the goal, but there is a very long list of blockchains that need to be added into Ledger Live for full support, and it is based off of demand from our users and by traffic on which ones are getting the most demand, and so it also dependent on how difficult it is to get that specific blockchain incorporated into Ledger Live. So it makes it incredibly difficult for us for support agents to give like an exact date on when that will be. However, I can say that because these tokens are supported through third-party wallets, meaning that there's already a Nano app built, so you can install the Nano app and then you can use your Nano to connect to third-party wallets to manage your tokens on these networks, which is just as secure as doing it in Ledger Live. It's kind of a roundabout way of having to do it. That is a good sign that they are on the roadmap to getting incorporated into Ledger Live, but I can't say for certain exactly when that'll be. Yeah, HWE for sure. Yep. Yep. Okay. Hey, Limbo Jones, how you doing? Okay. So John Smitty is asking a follow-up question. So, any recommendations when you're getting a new laptop computer? What to do with your ledger information from the old laptop? Just deleting Ledger Live, is that good enough? That's an excellent question. Yeah. So basically, if you go, let's see, I have Ledger Live here. I'll go ahead and show you here. So basically, when you add your accounts in Ledger Live, you're not actually like adding your crypto to Ledger Live. Your crypto is never actually in Ledger Live. Your crypto is only ever on the blockchain, and that's why it's perfectly okay for like I can go like this, and I can remove this from portfolio, and then just go through the steps to re-add it back in. So when you get your new laptop, really all you would have to do, cancel that action. I had an action pending already, so I got a weird error message. So basically, all you would need to do, you could reset Ledger Live if you want. You could technically just leave Ledger Live on your old computer if, unless you're like getting rid of it and you don't want there to be a record of your crypto accounts on Ledger on that computer. Then you can just uninstall Ledger Live and it will delete that data. Or you can come up here, add that account back in case we need it. Or you can come up here to the settings and you can go to help and you can totally reset Ledger Live and it'll wipe all the data and all of your accounts, and then you can uninstall it and there'll be no record on your old computer. Then when you get your new computer, you can simply install Ledger Live, hook up your Nano, and go through that same process to just add your accounts back into your new Ledger Live instance. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. PJ gave you a great answer on that too. HWE saying, yeah, I never went through with my ETH Pepe transactions. So I suppose that is why I see no contract. Yeah, so if you were swapping Pepe, ETH for Pepe, you would likely have to sign a token approval for that. Um, yeah, but if you don't see any and you never actually sign that transaction, then it's not there. Yep, you would definitely see it on Etherscan. Right. Shahid Mustafa, if you don't mind, please send me the Ledger link on how to transfer XDC to my Ledger. I installed ETH account, but I'm not seeing an XDC option. Yeah, definitely. I can do that for you right now. Is that okay? Cool. Yeah, I'll pull that up for you right now. Yeah, so you're going to be using, I believe it's called. Oh yeah, the name it's the XDC network app, but it's the beta wallet.zinfin.network, and this is actually a really good help center article. It's got like videos and stuff, and all the steps to show you how to get connected. So yeah, so this is going to be the way you'll need to get connected for XDC. There you go. John Smitty's asking, do you guys support USDC? I went to install the app on Ledger Live and it doesn't come up. I have Nano X. Yeah, definitely. Check this out. Pull up Ledger Live. Right, so yeah, so your USDC, you'll just send that directly to your Ethereum account. So you'll create an Ethereum account in Ledger Live, and it'll look like this. And then then you can open up your Ethereum account and get your receive address for your Ethereum account, and then copy that, and you can send your USDC directly to this wallet address. And I'll show you what it looks like once it's received. So once it's received, you'll get this purple drop down right here for show tokens, and then it'll show up just like any of these other tokens within your ETH account. Now, keep in mind that once you send USDC to your ETH account, because it's on the Ethereum network, you will also need to have a little bit of ETH in your wallet to pay the network transaction fees. You can also have USDC on other networks. If you have Polygon, you can USDC can exist on Polygon. It can exist on Tron. It can exist on a number of different networks. So make sure that whatever network you are transacting to, make sure that you have that network token inside that wallet. So for instance, if you have a Tron wallet and you're trying to send tokens to that, you're going to need a little bit of Tron inside that TRX inside that wallet as well to pay the network transaction fee. But most commonly, USDC is used on Ethereum. HWE, yeah, it can be a little scary with the token approvals. Definitely, it's I think as long as you keep track of the token approvals that you're signing and then regularly revoke them. You can do it through Etherscan or you can do it from revoke.cash. I can actually show you how to revoke a token approve or contract. Yeah, so this article right here will show you how to actually revoke token approvals right here with revoke.cash. There you go. So if you ever do see that you have a token approval, or if you have to sign a token approval transaction in order to do the swap that you want to do, then you can go in and follow those instructions to revoke that transaction right away as soon as you're done with that transaction. And it's only really scary because it has been something that scammers and people have been using and hackers have been using to exploit people's wallets. But the tools are getting much better. Like I mentioned, if you're connecting through MetaMask, you'll be able to set an upper limit. Like let's say you want to swap USDC for Pepe, and you have to sign a USDC token approval to do that. Then you can say, well, I only want to buy 10 USDC worth of Pepe, and so you can set that as a limit, and then that token approval would be inactive for any amount past that. So there are better tools that are already being developed, and things are only just continuing to get better as the space becomes more evolved. XCH, yeah, maybe. I'd have to look into XCH, MRX. But yeah, if it's getting a lot of traction and there's already a Nano app for it, then it's most likely being developed for sure. HWE, if I give you my ETH address, could you check the Etherscan and verify my account is safe? Because the thing I don't get is I paid someone, he gave me his wallet, but it shows as contract on transaction. Yeah, I could definitely do that. So keep in mind though, like if you share your Ethereum wallet address here in this chat, it's also going to give everyone else that's here the ability to go in and look at what's in your wallet. So if you don't want to share that information publicly, then I would say open up a support ticket, and we'll definitely take a look at that for you. Whatever agent gets your case. Yeah, but if you do want to share it here, you're more than welcome to. But keep in mind that if you do, it could sacrifice a little bit of your privacy. People will be able to see your Ethereum account. MCBA, hi, I have ADA on my ledger and staked it through Yori wallet. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, cool. ADA staking is actually supported in Ledger Live now. So if you have your so if you connect it to Yori with your ledger, then you will be able to go into Ledger Live and add your Cardano account. Here, let me show you. I got my Cardano account here. So I open up my Cardano account, and you can see that I also have some staked ADA, and it looks like I have some rewards too. Yeah, so you can, change your delegation, end your delegation. You can manage it from here from Ledger Live, or you can continue managing it from Yori if you want. Yeah, whatever you'd like. I sent the money normally to someone, but I don't understand why it shows as a contract. Okay, yeah. So here's what you're probably seeing. Let me pull up a transaction for you from my wallet address. Okay, cool. Did I send any token transfer? Yes. Okay, cool. I sent some Chainlink. Let's check this out. All right, we'll go to this one right here. All right, so this is most likely, I think, probably what you're seeing. So you can see that the transaction action, you transferred one link. In your case, maybe it was USDC or a different token. And so you'd see transfer of the token to the wallet address. This should be the recipient wallet address right here that received it. And then down here, you've got from, and this is your wallet address right here. So in this case, this is my wallet address. And then right here, you see this contract. This is what you interacted with. So this is the contract address for the Chainlink token. And if it was USDC that I send, it would say USDC token right here for the contract address. And then you scroll down a little bit more and you see the ERC20 token transferred from this address to this address. And so this right here is usually when I'm analyzing people's transactions that they send me, I'll come straight down to this line right here for the ERC20 token transferred. And I'll know that, okay, this is the person's wallet address right here, and I can open that in a new tab. And then this is the recipient wallet address right here. So we can go ahead and open up the recipient wallet address. And you can click right here, filter by token holder, and you can see this is the wallet address that I sent the Chainlink token to right here. I don't remember which wallet this is. I'm gonna have to find this wallet. All right, there's 0.038 ETH in this wallet. Maybe one of my coworkers. All right, let's go back here. Oh, wait, did I not show you that? Oh, I didn't show you that whole thing just now. These are the technical difficulties that I was talking about. All right, let me start over on that. My apologies for that. Okay, so right here, I pulled up this transaction for Chainlink, and this is what I was talking about right here. Right here, you can see interacted with to, and this is the contract address for Chainlink. So if you're seeing the USDC contract address right here, that's perfectly normal. What you want to look at is the ERC20 tokens transferred underneath that from this wallet address to this wallet address. And that should be for the amount that you sent in USDC to this wallet address. And then you can open up the recipient wallet address right here by clicking on it, new tab. And then you can see that it was delivered to this wallet address. MCBA, you're saying, unfortunately, I cannot access my Yori wallet. Can I still access the staked ADA? Yeah, definitely. So I guess my question for you is, is your ADA, is it an account that you created by connecting your ledger to Yori initially? If so, then you can just go directly to Ledger Live and add your account directly into Ledger Live. Okay, this is looking kind of crazy. The Ledger Live. Yeah, so you can go here if you created your account with your Nano by connecting it to Yori, you can actually just go straight to Ledger Live now, and you can go to the Add Account and choose Cardano. Actually, before I do that, let me go ahead and delete this Cardano account from my portfolio so I can show you. So there is no Cardano account in Ledger Live. You can go to Add Account, Cardano. Open up the Cardano application. Cool. And yep, there's my ADA. So if all goes well, you should see your ADA then at this point. Go ahead and real quick, ADA-S plus. Although I didn't do that with my Ethereum account. And then you should be able to click on your Cardano account and it will already detect that you have staked ADA. And so if your ADA is still staked, then you'll be able to see that right here under the delegation right here. All right. The ledgers, HWE is asking. Oh, cool. Looks like PJ dropped the link to where you can check to see if it's supported or not. Good to go. Let's see. HWE saying, yeah, I never signed any, but I paid people, but the transactions show their address as a contract. Perhaps they were using an exchange. Thanks for the help. Yeah, there could be a lot of stuff going on there. For that, I would say probably open up a support article, and that way we can get your information privately. That way you don't have to share it with other people, and we'll be more than happy to look into that for you. Definitely. MRX625 is saying, are you considering a new Ledger product with much easier access options like fingerprint, face, or voice recognition? Yeah, I don't know if I don't really know specifics on that, but of course, we will always be, creating new product. We got the Ledger Stacks coming out soon, and that is a upgraded device with new features. It's got the curved e-ink screen. It's got full clear signing capabilities. It's touch screen, and it's a really cool device. But as far as like fingerprint, face, or voice recognition, I'm not sure. Perhaps in a future iteration of our products, that will be a thing, but I don't know for sure. All right, looks like we are at the end of the questions right now. So let me see. Go back to Ledger Live. Actually, let me scroll back up in the comments. I want to look up real quick. Look up Rib real quick. Figure out some ads real quick. Chrome and Gecko. Let's find Rib. Riverboat. Likely it. Like it is. Oh, Moon River. Moon River. Oh, okay. I do not think this is probably not supported, but I will check real quick. Yep, not supported. I don't believe that we support tokens on Moon River. Assuming that it even is the same token that you're referring to. If it's a different token, let me know in the comments. Just make your products better. Yeah, yeah. That's the idea. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, no problem, MCBA. You're most welcome. Okay, cool. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we got off to a whole weird start today with our monitor dying on us. So hopefully we get that figured out before the next stream. But yeah, let me see if there's anything kind of cool to show you guys here real quick in Ledger Live. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, here's something that's pretty cool. All right, so you notice that I've got this Ethereum account here, and I've got this Polygon account here. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this Polygon account, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add a Optimism account. Okay. All right. So yeah, what I want to show you guys here is if you look at if we generate the receive address for this Ethereum account, you see that it's the 0x2 F8C5 EF et cetera, all the way to the end. This is actually, let me go ahead and approve this real quick. And then let's go to the Polygon account. Let's generate the receive address for Polygon. And you can see that it's the exact same wallet address. 0x2 F8, it is the exact same wallet address. And the reason that is because Polygon, it'll be the same deal with Optimism. I actually didn't really need to show you guys that or add that account, but the Optimism address will be the same. Binance Smart Chain will be the same. Kronos will be the same. All these different EVM chains, when you hear the term EVM, it stands for Ethereum Virtual Machine. Uh, these are all kind of built the same way, and accounts the derivation path to derive account addresses for these chains all follows a similar path to where it generates the exact same wallet addresses, and so it creates a lot of confusion for users. We'll go ahead and copy that real quick because, for instance, you could have your Ethereum account and you can generate your Ethereum address and then you can withdraw funds from the exchange and maybe you don't realize that you have like the Binance, if you're using Binance, you don't realize that it's got the Binance Smart Chain highlighted or selected as a network to transact over. And so it'll send your funds over, you can potentially send your funds over a totally different network to the exact same wallet address. And the go-to way to handle that is to simply add the network account for the network that it was sent over. So if you send it from Binance and it's on the Binance Smart Chain, you can add a Binance Smart Chain account to Ledger Live, and your ETH would then be inside that account. But for maybe assets that aren't supported on that network, or for networks that aren't necessarily supported in Ledger Live, you can come here to the Discover tab and then find this app right here called Zerion. And what Zerion does is Zerion, it looks out over a bunch of different EVM chains for the same wallet address, and it'll tell you all the assets that you have across all these different chains. So you can see these networks right here. It actually supports 12 networks, all these different EVM networks, plus Solana apparently. Although I'm not 100% of Solana fully works, but Solana is not an EVM chain, so but all the rest of these are. So if you go down here and if you scroll down, you can see here that inside this wallet, there is Ethereum on the Ethereum blockchain. There's Polygon Matic tokens on the Polygon chain. There is Chainlink on Ethereum. There's also Polygon on the Ethereum chain. And it's even detecting, I don't even have an Arbitrum account added to Ledger Live right now, but Zerion is detecting that I have a little bit of Arbitrum ETH on the Arbitrum network. And so I can go here to the accounts tab and I can actually add an Arbitrum account and that will be there because it's being detected on this network. Yep, and there it is, just that little kind of dust amount of Ethereum right there. So, yep, I'm not gonna add the account in. I'm just gonna exit out right there. All right, cool. Let me go back here, check in with you guys on the comments. Oh, is live chat offline? Oof. We're having all kinds of technical difficulties. I do apologize for that, guys. Okay, so HW is asking, so also when you stake ETH, is it actually in your wallet in your own control, or is this dependent on how you stake it? Will you add more cryptos to stake in the future? So I'll work backwards from that. So we'll definitely keep adding more staking options for different assets in Ledger Live. Again, there's some where it is supported in Ledger Live, but the staking is not yet built into Ledger Live. A good example would be HBAR. You can create your HBAR account. You can add your HBAR account to Ledger Live, but you can't stake your HBAR through Ledger Live. You actually have to connect to the Hashpack wallet and do it through the Hashpack wallet because that feature has not yet been built into Ledger Live. So we definitely will have more staking options in the future. But then initially you asked, when you stake ETH, is it actually in your wallet, in your own control, or is it dependent on how you stake it? So there's different ways to stake ETH. If you stake ETH through Lido, which is a liquid staking platform, or through Stader Labs, it's another liquid staking platform, you will deposit your Ethereum into Lido, and then Lido will give you a token in return, so STETH. So we can go back to Ledger Live. I don't have any STETH, but let's say I wanted to stake my 0.03 ETH into Lido. I would receive as a token 0.03 STETH. It's a 1-for-1 ratio. And so that token will be in your wallet, fully under your control, and it will represent the Ethereum that you have staked in Lido. But it's important to note that it's not the same thing as ETH. That would just be a token that represents it, and your ETH balance will go down by the amount that you stake. So if I had 10 ETH in this wallet and I staked 8 ETH, then I would get 8 STETH, and then 8 ETH would get sent out of my wallet to Lido. And at that point, you can go back to Lido's website and you can redeem your STETH tokens for ETH if you would like, or you can swap on a decentralized platform such as Uniswap from STETH back to ETH. There's different ways to do it. And so if you have now let's say that you stake through like Kiln, or you stake through, or you set up your own node and you actually set up your own staking node from Ethereum, you will actually lock up the Ethereum inside that staking protocol. And there is actually a wait list to pull it out. I think for Kiln, it takes, I'm not sure the exact time frame, but I think it takes about a month right now, a queue to be able to withdraw your stake from Kiln. So it is important when you do stake Ethereum, you are locking it up. So just keep that in mind. Yep. All right. Cool. All right. Well, we did kind of get a late start, and I do again apologize for that. But I can stick around for a couple extra minutes just in case anyone has any other questions. If you do have any other questions, you go ahead and drop them in the chat. And in the meantime, I will come up with something else to show you. In fact, we were just talking about staking. Let me show you the Ethereum staking options in Ledger Live. So if you go back to Ledger Live, go to the Discover tab. We have Lido. And you can connect to Lido right here. It's connecting to my Ethereum wallet. And so I can do the max if I wanted to. And so it's going to be the max minus whatever the network transaction fees are going to cost to stake it. So I could stake my 0.0233 ETH right now and submit it and sign it on my Nano. And then I will receive 0.0233 STETH. So that's what I was talking about, where you receive the tokens. And then if you want to withdraw, if I had stake tokens here, I'd be able to go up to this withdrawals right here. And I would be able to withdraw my STE. It would show up the same way right here, the STE tokens. I can withdraw it using Lido and then request a withdrawal, and then it will send ETH back to my account. And one other cool thing, that I didn't touch on when it comes to liquid staking for ETH is it's kind of confusing. There's better tools now that actually track the amount of ETH that you're earning from your staking rewards, but liquid staking is weird. Like you don't receive an on-chain transaction like you do in other blockchains. Like when you claim your stake rewards from other blockchains, it's usually a transaction that you sign that's broadcasted to the network, and there's a record of it. You know, claim these staking rewards, and you can see it. You don't see any of that with liquid staking. The balance of your STETH tokens will just continue to grow. Like let's say that I were to stake my 0.023 ETH into STETH tokens. Maybe a year from now, I would have like 0.035 STETH, and it'll just and it would be more if I had more ETH. Obviously, it's a percentage that you gain. But yeah, so it can be really confusing. A lot of people will look at their STETH and be like, I haven't gotten a single transaction for any staking rewards. I don't know what's going on. But then you go back to that wallet and you go back to the initial transaction. Like if let's say if I were to stake this ETH right here, that would create an on-chain transaction because it would show on Etherscan my ETH leaving my wallet and STETH tokens entering the wallet, and there will be a snapshot of that. If I could look at that transaction, I can say, okay, 0.023 ETH, STETH, and then maybe a year from now, I can compare that to the value of STETH tokens that I have, and it would be a higher value. And then subtracting the initial stake, that would be the amount of rewards that we received. However, you don't have to do that anymore. You can actually come here to the Earn tab, which is a new feature in Ledger Live, and it will actually track your stake balances here. So let's see. So it's saying that I have estimated 2.41 rewards. Let's see that. Yeah, I'm not really sure which one it's detecting for that. Possibly the Cardano, possibly something else. But either way, this tab will show you a little bit more information, and it's definitely still new. It's it maybe has some bugs to work out, but for the most part, that's this is our new tab that we're going to be developing to help users better manage their stakes in Live. It can be very confusing. All right, let me check back in real quick if we have any other questions. Let's see. Have you heard of fixed float? A bunch of my friends told me to use it, and I swapped over 30K in BTC into stables. But then I got to it. It's actually a site scammers use. Is this true, or I don't know. Let me see. Let me check it out. I haven't heard of fixed float. I likely won't be able to tell you right away if it's like something that's used by scammers, but I can tell you if there's anything that I don't like about it. Oh, instant cryptocurrency exchange. I mean, it looks like it's a way to swap over, and you can put in a destination address. So yeah, so right here, the order type, you have fixed rate, and then you have floating rate. So you want to be careful with floating rates in general. I don't know. So everyone's going to have a different algorithm, different math they use to perform their stuff. Like I'm definitely no expert on what like a specific exchange like this would use. But in general, when you use a floating rate, you run the risk of slippage. So basically, let's say that there's different kinds of slippage, but when it comes to floating rates, let's say that you initiate a swap from one asset to another, and there's a really big market movement one way or another. You in the time that it takes for that transaction to process, you could wind up getting much less than you should have gotten, or even in some cases more than you should have gotten, depending on the way the markets are moving. And so but usually a floating rate will ensure a much faster swap because it'll just give you whatever rate is currently available, and your swap will go through quicker. and versus doing a fixed rate where maybe there's a big market movement right after you submit it, and then your transaction gets stuck because it's not able to execute at that rate at that time. So that's one thing to look out for. But from what I'm seeing, I mean, I don't see anything like I would have to like kind of like use it and look into it. And I just don't really know about this website. But it kind of reminds me a little bit of like SimpleSwap, which is a service that I use pretty often to get like small amounts of crypto, where basically you set up an exchange from them. It is a centralized exchange, and you can send them assets, and then they will swap it for you and send it back to the destination address. And it looks very similar to this. I'll show you what it looks like. SimpleSwap.io. You can see it looks very similar. You say which one you want. Let's say I want to go from BTC to ETH, do exchange, and then it'll ask for the recipient wallet address and ETH to send the ETH to. So it looks like that's probably a similar service to what this is. And as for scammers using it, possibly. You know, if it works good, I mean, scammers have to make their swaps too. All right. Ah, got it. HWE. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. Yep. All right, yep. Definitely can't do anything at that age legally. That's for sure. But yeah, these other services are out there. But I can't speak to whether or not this one is legitimate. I've never personally used it, but I haven't heard anything negative. I mean, it's never come up as like being like a hotbed for scammers or anything like that. So definitely do your own research and make sure you know what you're getting into before you make any moves. All right. Yeah, you're welcome. Most definitely. All right, cool. So I think we're probably gonna call it for the day. We got to the end of the questions. Again, sorry that I was late on the start of the stream, but we should have all these technical difficulties worked out by Wednesday, which will be our next stream. So we're gonna be doing another AMA Wednesday at the same time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We also have our European team that will be doing their YouTube content, and they do it Tuesdays, Thursdays, and I believe Fridays at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. Let me go ahead and get that for you. Okay. Let's see how updated it is. Oh, cool. It does have all that. All right, cool. Oh, we actually have two. I think that got. I'm gonna hold off on this. This article actually needs to be updated. Yeah, so no worries. I'll just yeah. So the next stream for us is going to be Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you have any other questions, please drop by, and I hope to see you there. If you enjoyed this content, if it was helpful in any way, we very much appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe. That to help make sure that the information gets out to other people who may be interested. And yeah, make sure always keep your private key safe, your 24-word recovery phrase. Don't share it with anybody. Don't put it online. Don't store it in any kind of digital format. And you should be good to go. All right. Stay safe out there, everybody.